Right. Good afternoon, everyone. Right. What is that last topic? Drop down, right? Okay. Online students, is it the screen is visible? Online students can respond in the chat window. All the online students can respond in the chat window. Oh, right. So let's complete on that. Let's have a heading is, what is the heading you done? Weight statements. Okay, right. So let's understand what exactly mean by this particular weight statement and how exactly we can work with weight statements here. Okay. So the first understanding, we are working with Selenium automation. While working with Selenium automation, as we are doing with the programming, in case of if we have any requirement of to get control the execution, I mean, once the one particular step has been executed, if you want to be get wait for some time, you need to be get provide this particular respective wait statements here. In that particular respective wait statement, that particular respective wait statement, the one you will be considering that we need to be get mentioning that thread dot sleep. The one we mentioned that thread dot sleep. Another one we need to be get mentioning that the one you will be taking with thread dot sleep, and another one we need to be get mentioning that explicit wait. Okay, and at the same time we got implicit wait. So the one you will be mentioning about taking with thread dot sleep, and then implicit wait, and then taking with explicit wait. So what exactly mean by these particular things? So let's understand step by step. First, make a note of the description for these particular statement. Just make a note of the description for these particular statements, and we'll continue with next step. First, make a note of the description, thread dot sleep. First one is thread dot sleep. First one is thread dot sleep. Make a note of the description. It will wait. It will wait. It will wait until. It will wait until mentioned time. It will wait until mentioned time. Completed. It will wait until particular condition has to be completed. Okay, right. So let's understand what exactly mean by this and how we need to begin work with these particular things. As simple as previously we got understand that working with the text boxes, checking with buttons, and then check boxes. Similar to that, if you want to begin work with these wait statement, or if you want to begin apply this particular wait statement, how exactly we can use these particular wait statements here. Okay, right. Let's see that. So let's understand that we need to be get mentioning about taking with these particular things. We need to be get understand about how exactly the syntax to be followed to work with these particular wait statement. In that, the one we mentioned, thread.sleep. What is the functionality of thread.sleep? What is the functionality of thread.sleep? It will wait until mention time has to be completed. As simple as a working thread.sleep. But what exactly this thread.sleep is doing is, now assume that you mention 3000 or 4000, 6000, whatever it can be. Whatever the time you mention, it will wait until that particular time has to be completed. Whenever it was waiting for the time, in between, it is not looking into that page has been loaded or not, or that particular object has been loaded or not. Like previously, we got enter URL. Once we enter URL, we are waiting for some time. Typing username, typing password, click on login. Once we click on login, waiting for some time. So once we got click on login, it need to be wait for some time. Now here, according to your program requirement, whenever you want to be wait for some time, you will be taking with these particular wait statement. While working thread.sleep, this particular thread.sleep, it is not looking into that. Thread.sleep is not looking into that any page has been loaded or as a text box has been available or this button has been available, image has been loaded. It is not looking into any of these things here. Moreover, thread.sleep statement is related to Java or Selenium. Thread.sleep is related to Java. It's not like related to Selenium. Thread.sleep statement is related to the Java. So any of the Java code or Java methods is not communicating to application. Selenium methods are communicating to application. Like taking send keys method, find element method, click method, so select by value. These methods are communicating with application. Java methods is not communicating to application. So as simple as when you are working with, taking care about this particular thread.sleep statement which it has been used until that particular time has to be completed. You mention like 4,000 or you mention like 10,000, whatever the time you want to be provide, you can mention that. But it is not like looking into either page is loaded or it is not looking into particular object has been loaded. It is not worried about all these things here. Just you mention some time, it will wait, the time has to be completed. Once the time is completed, then it will be navigating to next step. Okay. Now we can see. Just consider an example. You mention like 4,000. You are waiting for this time has to be completed. Okay. So assume that you have been written the code after clicking on login button. You mention like wait statement. You clicked on login. Once you have been click on login, you mention that wait for statement. So you return that thread.sleep. It is waiting. Now, You mentioned thread dot sleep is 4000. Within 2000 milliseconds only, your required page has been loaded. Just 1 minute, guys. Right. Now, you can say that. So considering that we return with the statement is thread dot sleep 4000. Program is executing. While program is executing, your required page has been loaded within 2000 milliseconds only. But even though that particular page has been available, it will not be navigating to next step, because the functionality of thread dot sleep. What is the functionality of thread dot sleep? It will wait until mentioned time has to be completed. It is not looking into that page is loaded or that button has been available, text box available. It is not looking into that. It is just looking into that either mentioned time has been completed or not. If your required page has been available within 2000 milliseconds also, it is not navigating to the next step. In general, if the required page is already available, is there any meaning of waiting for some more time? No, right? If your required page has been available, there is no chance of waiting for some more time. That means while working with the thread dot sleep, there is a chance of wasting with the time. While working with the thread dot sleep, there is a chance of wasting with the time. Now, two things here. One is functionality of thread dot sleep. What is the functionality? It will wait until mentioned time has to be completed. First thing. Second thing, chances of wasting the time. While working thread dot sleep, chances of wasting with the time here. Because of that, to get overcome that, taking with the help of explicit wait. This explicit wait, it will wait until particular condition has to be completed. functionality of explicit wait. Functionality of explicit wait. It will wait until particular condition has to be completed. That condition, not like if condition. That if condition, those are related to programming. But these conditions which are related to web page. These conditions which are related to web page here. I mean, you want to wait until login button has to be available, or wait until text box has to be available. Wait until the whole page has to be available. Wait until particular image has to be available. Those conditions which are related to web page here. So the conditions which are related to web page, and that conditions also it's not like you need to be come up with by your own. Already you will be having predefined conditions according to the requirement. You need to be understand what are all the predefined conditions need to be used. Now, as simple as thread.sleep. What is the functionality? Wait until mention time has to be completed. Explicit wait. What is the functionality? Wait until particular condition has to be completed. As it is waiting for particular condition, there is no chance of wasting with the time. While working with explicit wait, you can see how it is working. You will write in a condition and you will provide the time also. This condition you will be writing with the condition, saying like this particular condition, assume that you mention for login button. You written with the condition mentioning that login button. Okay. And now I can see here, which need to be wait until login button has to be available. So at the same time, you will provide the time also. Why you are providing this time is, now assume that working with explicit wait. What is the functionality of explicit wait? Wait until particular condition has to be completed. You return the condition, wait for login button, looking into the condition. So first 1000 milliseconds completed. That button has been available. As that login button is available, as that condition is true, immediately navigating to next step. There is no chance of wasting with the time. There is no chance of wasting with the time. Now assume that that particular 1000 milliseconds completed, still button not available, still looking into that. 2000 milliseconds, button not available. 3000, 4000, 5000, still button is not available. As it is not available, it will be providing page load time error. I mean, which it will be giving with timeout error. This is considering the maximum time. This is condition and providing the maximum time. Within that maximum time, if the condition is not done, then it will be giving with that particular timeout error. That maximum time not like fixed. We mentioned 5000, you can go with 3000, 4000 according to the requirement. According to the requirement, you can provide. According to the requirement, you can provide any of the respective time here. So this is what it will be followed with taking with this particular explicit weight and then taking with implicit weight. Considering explicit weight, so what is the functionality of explicit weight? Wait until particular condition has to be completed. Okay. In a similar way, we got implicit weight. The functionality of implicit weight. Now we can see here. The meaning, functionality of implicit weight. So what is the functionality of implicit weight? Particular page has to be available. So what exactly mean by that page? Now we can see. If I click on login, now we can see. If I just click on login, you can see that menus will be available immediately. Employee information. Oh, not working, no? So now we can see here. Considering that, if I just considering this, let me then log in again. You can cross check that this menus will loaded immediately. What is this page? Employee information. So you want to wait until this employee information page has to be available. You want to wait particular page has to be available. Then you will be using the statement. What is that statement? What is it? Implicit weight, not explicit, implicit. So which you will be taking with implicit weight. So this is considering that need to be get mentioning that particular page has to be available. So now while working the Selenium, we got three options here. Which option need to be used? It depends on tester. Nobody will be asking that why you done thread.sleep, why explicit weight, why implicit weight. So need to be get continued with the automation. According to that automation, you need to be get understand that what are the statements need to be using. So while working this particular thread.sleep, while working thread.sleep, need to be get mentioning about having the whole time here, implicit weight related to page, explicit weight related to condition. So see the whole three statements here. Thread.sleep. What is the functionality of thread.sleep? It will wait until particular time has to be completed. Functionality of implicit wait. It will wait until particular page has to be available. Functionality of explicit wait. It will wait until particular condition has to be completed. So according to the tester comfortable, based on the requirement, need to be get utilized any of the option here. Okay. Now let's see that what is the syntax need to be followed. Before writing with the syntax, just make a note of the test step. Previously written test steps for wait statement. No, right? No. Make a note of the wait statements. Make a note of the wait statements. Take with the first step. What is the first step? What is the first step? Open application. Right. Take with the first statement, open application. Open application. Take the next statement, enter username. Enter username. Enter username. Enter username. Take the next statement, enter password. Enter password. Enter password. Now, take the next statement. Wait until Wait until login button has to be available. 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 Take the next statement. Take the next statement. Click on login button. Click on login button. Click on login button. Take the next statement. Wait until employee information. Wait until employee information page has to be available. Wait until employee information. Wait until employee information page has to be available. Wait until employee information page has to be available. Now, take the next statement. Click on logout. Click on logout. Click on logout. Click on logout. And the last statement. Last statement. Close application. Close application. Close application. Okay. So now this is what we got the test case step. According to that particular test case step, we need to be develop automation script. So as simple as need to be get working with Selenium. To work with Selenium, what we require? What we require? Jar files. Based on jar files, what we can access? What we can access? Packages. Based on packages? Based on the packages, class. What is the use of the class? If we get considering that class, that we will be mentioning the providing that methods. Use of the method to perform an action here. Okay. So continued with the same concept here. So which need to be get mentioning about and getting creating with class need to be get provide that you will be considering that which you will be taking with wait statement. Need to be get considering that wait statement. Okay. So now you can see here as usual need to be get continued all that particular respective code need to be get right taking with main method. So need to be get provide taking with main method that you will be considering the string aux. You need to be get right. You need to be get right that particular respective test step. You need to be get right that particular respective test step. So writing that particular code, writing that particular code is a common activity. Writing that particular code is a common activity. What is our regular code? What need to write it? System dot set property. Okay. Next. WebDriver dot gecko dot driver. As I'm working with the Firefox browser, I'm taking with gecko driver and then need to be get provide, which need to be get provide path of driver.exe file. We need to be get provide. We need to be get provide path of driver.exe file. Okay. Right. So we need to get provide path of exe file, including file name and extension, including with the file name, and extension need to be get provided. So we need to be get provide having with .exe. Okay. Right. Next, what we have to write? WebDriver driver equal to new Firefox driver. So why we need to write Firefox driver? So that WebDriver is interface. For interface, can we create any object? No, taking the reference of class. That particular reference taking with Firefox driver. But still it is giving an error. We need to be get import that package. So which we will be taking with having that importing all the required packages here. Okay. So we need to be get import all the required packages once we have been done. This is not right. Okay. So now we got mentioning that open application. Once application got open, what is the next step written? What is the next step? Enter URL. That is a regular syntax. Writing it. Driver dot find element by dot. By dot navigate. So here, once you launch with the browser, you need to be get enter URL. So that you will be mentioning that driver dot navigate dot to. So here we need to be get provide not URL. We need to take original URL. Okay, right. So we got open that particular application, which it will be taking with the login. Entering with the URL. Once URL got entered, need to be get taking with considering the name. We need to be get provide name, that particular one, txt username dot, which we will be taking with, what is the method name? Send keys of, right. So you are providing with username, and need to be take with password. So what is it? Driver dot find element by dot taking with name. So now you need to be get provide that name txt password. Okay. Dot. What is that method name? Considering the send keys, which need to be get provided that particular one. So what is it? Naresh IT. Okay. So we got launching the browser, entering with the URL, entering with the username, need to be get click on login button. But before clicking on login button, first what need to be done? We need to wait until login button has to be available. So we need to be get taking care about, you need to be get mentioning that wait until login button has to be available. Okay. Now we can see. Now we need to write in a condition saying that wait until login button has to be available. So what we can use it? Which wait statement we can use? Thread dot sleep or implicit wait or explicit wait? What is it? Implicit or explicit or thread dot sleep? Implicit. Okay. Why implicit? when you're saying that implicit, so why we need to go with implicit? What is the requirement? What is it? What exactly the requirement? You need to wait until login button has to be available. You need to be using with the wait statement which can wait for condition. So that condition it is mentioning that wait until login button has to be available. So condition means what is the statement we can use? What is it? Explicit wait. Now see the syntax. So see the syntax of explicit wait. Considering that WebDriver wait taking with wait equal to new WebDriver wait. Okay. Now taking with wait dot until expected condition until expected conditions dot. Getting the list of the conditions. So here you will be getting the list of the condition. From these particular list, you need to be taking care about according to the requirement. According to the requirement, we can use it. We are using the option. Which we are using the option. Now we can see. Considering the element to be clickable. So it will be waiting till the time of element has to be available. Till the time of element has to be available, it will wait it. After that, it will be taking with next step. So which it will wait for? Need to be mentioning about element to be clickable. So which element it is? You need to be provide driver dot find element. Driver dot find element. Considering that by dot taking with him. So that particular name. What is that name? Submit. Okay. So now we can see that. So this particular WebDriver wait, who has to be performed? Considering that driver. So now we can see here. So we need to be mentioning that. Which you will be considering that taking with WebDriver wait. So and then you are passing with the driver object. The driver is this particular driver looking into the built-in condition. From there, he will be taking one condition. What is it? Element to be clickable. Element has to be available. Then you will be taking with, which you will be getting considering that, having with all the required information here. Now, this WebDriver wait. Okay. For this, we need to be provide maximum time also. So which I will be mentioning about taking with duration. So duration dot, what is the maximum time you need to be provided? So which you can provide that particular time. So that you will be mentioning about taking with 2. Not like this 2. Okay. Or else better you can go with seconds. Let me write this. Okay. So see the syntax here. So what we mentioned, WebDriver wait. So we are informing to the driver object. So which WebDriver wait will be waiting it. So till the time of expected condition, and that you will be taking with find element. So once this particular element has been available, then we have to perform click activity. So to perform click activity, what is the statement? Driver dot find element by dot you will be taking with name. What is the name of that? TXT password. Okay. Sorry. Submit, right? Dot. What is that method name? What is that method name? Click. It will done with the click activity. Once you done with the click activity, you need to wait that particular employee information page has to be available. So wait until that employee information page has to be available. So which wait statement we can use? What is it? Implicit wait. So which you will be taking with implicit wait. This is very straightforward. I can see driver dot manage dot which you will be taking with timeout dot which you will be taking with implicit wait. So here you need to be get provide. This is maximum time. So what we are providing is which you will be taking with maximum time here. So that you will be providing the whatever the time you require. So this is how we got a possibility in taking care about writing with wait statement. One is explicit wait, another one is implicit wait. Okay. This is just go with seconds only. Okay. And after that, for the confirmation, we'll be printing with the statement considering that login completed. Doing with the logout, what you will write? Find element by dot, taking with link text of which you will be taking with logout. Dot you will be taking with click. And here I'm adding the statement thread dot sleep, providing that 4000, and finally need to be get mentioning that driver dot close. Let's import this. Throws exception. Okay, so I'll execute the program, but before execute the program, make a note of the syntax. Syntax of explicit wait and syntax of implicit wait. Just make a note of these two syntaxes. Syntax of explicit wait and syntax of implicit wait. Online students also. Just make a note of the syntax. Just make a note of the syntax of explicit wait and then taking with implicit wait. These two things. Explicit wait and implicit wait. Just make a note of that. Okay. I can note both the syntax, implicit wait and then explicit wait. Okay. Not record whole program, just both the syntaxes. That's it. Implicit wait and explicit wait, both the syntaxes. Okay, right. Let's see the whole program. First, we are importing all the required packages. We are importing with the packages related to explicit wait, implicit wait, importing all the required packages, creating with class, creating with main method, providing path of exe file, launching with the browser, entering with URL, enter with username, enter with password. First you are waiting till the time of this login button has to be available. You written one condition. What is the condition you written? Element to be clickable. That element has to be available to perform in a click activity. You're not looking to the whole page. You're looking into that element. Once that element has been available, then immediately perform the next step. What is the next step you are doing? Which you will be clicking on button. So once you got click on that button, you have been waiting for, once you have been click on that particular button, you have been waiting for that particular page has to be available. Once that page has been available, then it will be taking into next step. So after that, it is mentioned thread.sleep. So functionality of thread.sleep, it will wait until mention time has to be completed. Now we can see here, if I run this program, if I'm executing this particular program, you can see that what make the difference here. You can see that how fast it will execute. Thread.sleep, you can see that it is waiting. But remaining two things, you can see how fast it will work. First, it will look into button. Button has to be available. Still waiting. Button available. Immediately done the login. Page is loaded. Immediately doing the logout. So once you done with the logout, you mention that thread.sleep. It is waiting that mention time has to be completed. Let me run once again. Just let me run once again. I can see that. As simple as while working with the explicit wait and implicit wait, there is no chance of wasting the time. Condition true, immediately done. Login, immediately page is loaded, then taking into the next step. So thread.sleep, waiting for that particular time. So this is what we got a possibility in working with thread dot sleep and then mentioning about implicit wait and then taking with explicit wait. Which wait statement need to be used? Which wait statement need to be used? That it will depends on tester comfortable. Based on tester comfortable, need to be get using that particular respective wait statement. So the whole conclusion, you got three wait statements here. One is thread dot sleep, another one implicit wait, another one explicit wait. Functionality of thread functionality of thread dot sleep. Functionality of thread dot sleep. Wait until mention time has to be completed. Functionality of explicit wait. Wait until particular condition has to be completed. Functionality of implicit wait. Wait until particular page has to be available. So this is what you will be working with thread dot sleep and implicit wait and then taking with explicit wait. Okay. So this you will be working with taking care about wait statements here. Now in a similar way, we need to be get understand about one more functionality. So that take with the heading is file upload. Take with the new heading is file upload. Right with the new heading is file upload. Online students also. Right with the new heading is file upload. Right with the heading is file upload and make a note of this particular syntax. Have a heading is file upload. Have a heading is file upload and make a note of this particular syntax. Have a heading is file upload and make a note of the syntax. Online students also make a note of that syntax. Okay. Right. So let's understand on it. So what exactly mean by this? If we look into our Selenium programs, what is the first program we done? Log in, log out. After that, Chrome browser. After that, verification. After that, after verification, mouse over. After that, frames. And then alerts. And then keyboard actions. After that, drop down. After that, drop down and checkbox. Okay. After that, wait statement. So now, similar way, we need to be taking care about file upload. I mean, as simple as you want to be automate the functionality of file upload. If you want to be automate the functionality of file upload, how we can automate this particular functionality? So further, if we look into the steps, in general, if you want to be upload in a file, if you want to be upload in a file, see the steps to be followed. If you want to be upload in a file, you need to be taking care about in having with this particular add employee. This test case we are already automated. So here you are typing the first name, typing the last name, need to upload in a file. To upload in a file, you are clicking on button. So you are clicking on this button. Once you click on the button, it will open one window. So from here, you need to be select with required file here. As simple as your requirement is need to be automate with the functionality of file upload. Okay. Now see that. For that, if we just look into manual step, let's consider which you will be taking with manual step. Manually, if you want to be upload in a file, you will be taking care about in performing with click activity. It can be upload button, choose file button, or browse button, whatever it can be. First, you will be clicking on the required button. Once you click on that required button, you need to be once you click on the required button, you need to be selecting with the required file. Okay. That is one approach to upload in a file. Manually, if you want to be upload in a file, you are clicking on browse button, choose file or any other option and you are selecting the required file. That is one approach, one option. Apart from that, is there any another approach? One is click, that is one approach. Any other approach to upload in a file? File upload. Apart from clicking on browse button, any other options? Can we go with option of considering that? Drag and drop? Consider or not? Okay. This is one option. Another option. Can we go with in providing? Can we go with in providing file path? Provided or not? So which file you want to be upload? You need to be provide. Which file you want to be upload? You need to be provide path of that particular file here. So you need to be provide path of that particular file here. Okay. So now you can see that when you are working with automation testing done with WebDriver, this particular Selenium, it cannot automate this approach. because you are clicking on the browse button or upload button. Once you click on the browse button or upload button, what is the next step you are doing? You need to select the file. See the concept here. If you click on this browse, you have to select the file, this particular one. Can we consider this is in a window? This is window or not? This is in a window. So consider Selenium. What is the drawback of Selenium? Drawback of Selenium. It will not be supporting to Windows based applications. It will support only web based applications. It will support only web based applications here. So that is what we got in a drawback. So that we cannot automate this approach. Even drag and drop also considering the same thing. The file drag and drop from one window to another window, it cannot be done. It cannot be automated. What is another approach? Providing with file path here. So we can provide path of the file. We can provide path of the file. This we can automate using with WebDriver. Conclusion is our requirement is need to be get upload in a file. We have to automate that functionality. To automate that particular functionality, you are taking with the help of different approaches. In that, providing clicking on the button, we cannot automate. Drag and drop, we cannot automate. But which will be taking with file path here. We can provide path of the file. So that approach we can automate. So that syntax you have been followed here. First, you are recognizing the button. You are recognizing the button. That information assigned to one variable, taking that variable and using the method. That will be taking with send case here. So what is the use of the send case? Use of send case to enter the data. So here also this particular send case method, it will look into that in providing path of that particular file. So according to that, so it will provide path of that particular file. So according to that, it will be continued. So this is how we got a possibility in providing with the syntax of to get upload in a file here. Now let's see that how exactly we can do this. We are taking with the test case of add employee test case, which is previously we are already automated. So just importing all the required packages, creating the class, creating the main method, providing path of exe file, launching with browser, entering with the URL, enter username, enter password, doing the login. Once you've done with the login, you need to begin enter into frame. You need to begin enter into frame and then clicking on add button, typing with the first name, typing with last name. Need to be upload in a file. To upload in a file, recognizing the button, assigned it to variable using the method name. What is the method name? Send keys. Which file you want to be upload, providing path of that particular file. Which file you want to be upload, you are providing path of that particular file. Then you will mention file uploaded successfully, clicking on the save, employee will add it, do the exit, do the logout and close with application. Okay. So now we can see here which need to be get mentioning about taking with uploading in a file. Sorry. Just you can see that you need to be able to get upload that particular file. File got uploaded. What is the file? Desert.jpg. It will click on save. That file has been uploaded here. Okay. Doing with the logout and close the application. Okay. So just let me run once again here. Just if you want to be cross check, let's run once again. I'm just executing once again. You can see that. So you are trying to get automate. You are trying to get automate that particular functionality of file upload. Now click on add button. Okay. Providing first name, last name, desert.jpg. Click on save. Clicked on save. That file is uploaded. Doing the logout and close the application. Okay. So this is what we are having with the possibility and getting automating with the functionality. So which need to be get automate with the functionality that will be considering the file upload. As simple as in the real time, either you will work with all these things or not, that is a different case. It's not like mandatory that you will apply all the things in the real time project. As part of the learning, we have been taking care about all the maximum possibilities. So that is how you have been taking care about working with all these particular individual programs here. So now you can see here, which need to be get considering that similar to this, we have one more option. So the one you will mention that file upload, similar to that, you will be taking with one more option, considering that JavaScript executor. So take the heading. Right with the heading is JavaScript executor. Right with the heading is JavaScript executor. Have a heading is JavaScript executor. And then make a note of the syntax. Have a main heading is JavaScript executor and make a note of the syntax. Online students also make a note of the syntax. All the syntaxes need to be get comfortable. Done? Okay, right. So let's understand what exactly mean by this, why it has been came into the picture. As simple as we are working with Selenium automation. Assume that your requirement is need to be get perform in a click activity. If you want to be get perform the click activity, the one you will be taking with the help of WebDriver. While working with the WebDriver, how you can perform the click activity? What is the method name you are using? Which you will be taking with click. While working with the WebDriver, if you want to be get perform in a click activity, you are using with the method name is click. Okay. Now assume that somehow it is not able to perform. WebDriver is not able to perform the click activity. What is another alternative option you will use? Drag and drop. To perform click activity, what is it? Keyboard actions here. So which you will be taking with the option that you will be taking with keyboard actions here. So that is what you will be taking with robot class. Requirement is need to be get perform in a click activity. To get perform in a click activity, you need to be get. To get perform in a click activity, you are using click method. That is one option. Another option which you will be working with robot class, that is keyboard action. That is one more option. In case of this robot class also not able to perform the click activity, then taking with another alternative option. So what is that option? Which you will be taking with JavaScript executor. Don't be confused here. Your JavaScript and JavaScript executor, nowhere of connectivity. There is nowhere of connectivity. This JavaScript executor which is related to the Selenium. Why all these things came into the picture? As simple as the general example. Assume that previously you have been done with your BTech exams or BTech. You will be writing with the regular exam. In case of regular exam fail, what you will do? What you will do? Supply 1. Supply 1 also fail? Supply 2. Supply 2 fail? Supply 3. Supply 3 also fail? Now here, because of, see the option here. Because of the supply 4 option available, is that you are doing the skip of regular exam? See the understanding. Supply 1, supply 2, supply 3 available. But because of that supply option, is that you are ignoring the regular exam? No. Either you will get pass or fail. That is a different step. First you will make an attempt with the regular exam. If you pass in the regular exam, you are not worried. If you are not passed in the regular exam, then you are taking with supply option. Here also same concept. You can understand like WebDriver is your regular exam here and remaining things are supply exams here. By default, anything you want to automate, you will be going with. Anything you want to be get automate, you will be taking with the help of WebDriver. In case of not able to handle with the help of the WebDriver, then you will be taking with another alternative option that you will be taking with keyboard. If that is also not working, that you will be taking with JavaScript executor. So as simple as in a starting days, we work with click method. That means WebDriver has been performing the click activity. After that, we got understand robot class. Robot class has been performing click activity. Now we are taking with JavaScript executor. So that JavaScript executor is performing the click activity. Output is same. Your regular exam, pass or fail. Supply option also, pass or fail. Output is same, but the way of your performing will make the difference. So here, these particular things, it will make you previously WebDriver has been done the click activity. Previously, WebDriver has been done with the click activity. So now it will be taking with keyboard actions has been performing click activity. And now we are taking with JavaScript executor. With the help of the JavaScript executor, we need to get perform in a click activity. So how we can perform? What is the syntax need to be followed? Let's see here. See the syntax to be followed as simple as first we have been identifying login button. First we are identifying login button. There we have to perform click activity. We identified it. Once we got identified, we got assigned it to one variable. This is element information. What is the method he got? What is the method he got? Find element. You are identifying the element. That element information you are assigning it. Okay. Now we are taking with JavaScript executor. We are informing to the WebDriver. To get communicate with JavaScript executor. We are informing to the WebDriver to get communicate with JavaScript executor. So what the JavaScript executor has to do? It has to execute the script. What is the script it has to execute? Click activity. Previously, WebDriver has been done that click activity. Now, JavaScript executor is performing that click activity. So, where it has to be performed click activity, providing that element details. By that, it will identify this element. Once this element has been identified, it will perform that click activity. So this arguments of 1, this is the syntax you can follow. 1 you can consider as a true and 0 you can consider as a false. So this particular one, once it got mentioned, once you have been taking this particular click activity, you need to, this is one you mentioned, no? Just make it as a 0. Not 1, 0. So 0 you can consider like in a true, 1 you can considering as a false here. So now if you consider this whole meaning is as simple as we are informing WebDriver is communicating to JavaScript executor to get perform in a click activity. That click activity need to be done with login button. Let's see here. Let me run on this. If we run this, we need to be able to see that performing in a click activity. Just you're trying to get understand that what are the alternative option. Done with the login? Yeah, it's done with click activity and doing with the logout and close the application. So here, if we look into this whole, we got imported all the required packages. First we got imported all the required packages. First we got imported all the required packages, taking with class and taking with main method, providing path of exe file, launching with the browser. What the statement is doing? Maximize. The browser maximize. If you want to maximize the browser, enter with the URL, functionality of get title. Functionality of get title. To retrieve title from the application. And after that, you will be taking with username and then password. Need to be get click on login button. To click on login button, to get click on login button. If we get considering that, clicking on this particular login button, it will perform the click activity, doing the login and then taking with logout. So now you can see here, if I run this program, you need to be able to see that performing the click activity. Just we are trying to get understand that understanding that what are the possibilities are there. So which is doing with the login and then it will take with logout. If you want to be cross-check that, let me give in a 1. What is the meaning of 1? 1 is false. 0 consider as a true. To perform click activity, 1 is considering as a false. Now we can see here. You need to be get able to mention that. They can see that. Is it perform click activity? Click is done? No. So we mentioned as a 1. So that particular one considering as a false. So that means the meaning of this statement is not performing click activity. We are informing to the JavaScript executor in saying that not performing this particular click activity. So this is how we are considering that 0 is true and 1 considering as a false here. So this is how we got a possibility in working with JavaScript executor. Okay. So now the whole concept is, if we look into the programs, see all the programs here. What is the first program? Login, logout. After that, Chrome browser. After that, verification, mouse over, frames, alerts. After alerts, keyboard actions, drop down. After drop down, wait statements. After wait statements, file upload. After that, JavaScript executor. Just take the new heading. Just write with the new heading mentioning that window handlers. Take with the new heading is window handlers. Just write the new heading is window handlers. Okay. Just write the new heading is window handlers. Okay. Just have a window handlers. Okay. So this is we need to get understand. So what exactly mean by this window handlers? We need to get understand on it. So still a lot of programs are there. All these individual program need to be comfortable. So once you guys has been gotten a comfortable with all these particular individual programs, we need to take all the syntaxes and we need to design the framework. So our final target is framework here. So to go with the framework, to work with the framework, first we need to get comfortable all the syntaxes here. So that we look into that. Tomorrow I'll take this window handler. It will make a confusion. So for now, just take care about all the syntaxes here. Tomorrow we'll go with window handler. Still a lot of other things are there. So that we'll understand on it. And after that, we'll be getting started with frameworks. But before getting started with the frameworks, make sure that you're getting comfortable with all these particular syntaxes. Please take care about the practice. Okay? Clear? Carry on. Thank you.